The biggest mistake that I ever made was that I allowed somebody else to tell me how I should be to feel worthy. And that's why I really struggled to love myself. And I'm guessing that you know exactly what I'm talking about. If I still thought about what that bully told me in 3rd grade or in 6th grade or 7th or 8th or 9th grade, I wouldn't be making this video right now. And if I thought about what my parents or teachers or exes or colleagues or friend used to tell me back then, I wouldn't be here either. You have to find a way to let that shit go. And I found that the big secret to worthiness is through self-love. Which begs the question, how the fuck do you do that? In this video, I want to explore exactly that with you. So turn off your phone, grab yourself a cup of tea or coffee, wrap yourself in a blanket, and let's go. I'm about to give you a couple of tools that you can use straight away to make your life feel so much easier and to just feel better about yourself. And let me tell you, I am so happy that you're here. My name is Stephanie and I'm mostly known as the Sticky Fairy online. Now, you might have seen some of my colorful post-it note videos that are circulating over social media. And whilst most of them are kind of funny and goofy, the topics are actually deeply rooted in matters of the heart. Anxiety, depression, mental health, all sorts of things that have to do with the art of being happy. Now, the reason why I started making those videos was that I found myself in a rut about 5 years ago in 2018. I was diagnosed with trauma, insomnia, I was feeling suicidal, I was covered in eczema from top to toe. You can go to my website and read more about it if you're interested. But I got to a point where I had to stop doing everything I was doing, and I spent the next 4 years digging myself out of a very deep, dark hole. And ever since then, self-love has been on my mind constantly. Not because I was great at it. I hated the way I thought. I hated the way I looked. And I absolutely despised the way I felt about myself. Now that's a really difficult place to be in. And I wondered how anyone would ever bounce back or find their way back to a life where everything wasn't wrong or unwelcome or ugly or just difficult all the time. I believe that us women and men think about that a lot. And that's why I'm here today to help you figure things out and to give you 3 things that you can do straight away that begin to break those cycles that are keeping you stuck. Society conditions us to think and feel the way we do. From the second you were born, you've been conditioned to think and feel the way you do. How to dress, how to act, what should be bigger, what should be smaller. Should you be a little louder? Should you be a little kinder? Should you be a little prettier? I don't know. Why is your nose so big? Why do you talk like that? Why do you walk like that? What's wrong with your face? I mean, with all those messages, frankly, it's a fucking miracle that you and I are still here today, alive, I'm telling you. And it makes me so angry because no one, and I mean no one, has the right to tell you how you should be, feel, think, and look. No one. That's your business. So what do we do about it? First of all, you need to become aware that what you are thinking about is a direct carbon copy of everything that has happened in your past. That's what you still think about today. Or maybe not specifically, but the way you think has been conditioned a long, long time ago. And if you're anything like me, there's very little on your mind that is future-centric and positive, right? Most of it is a mush of old hurts, memories, traumas, things that she said, things that he said, all this stuff that really bears no relevance anymore today. Okay, so now that you're becoming aware of all of that stuff that is going on inside your mind automatically as a product of the past, you can do something. Which brings me to the first tool that I will give you. Write down your thoughts. What? Really? Is that it? Yep. Take out a piece of paper and write down everything that somebody has told you about how you should look, how you should feel, and how you should be. Of course, you want to think about or write about the things that are still there and that have a negative impact on you. So if you grew up with somebody who was kind to you and they were telling you kind things about you, then that's not really relevant because we want that. You want that. But everything else, what your exes said to you, what your bullies said to you, what your friends told you that you needed to do to be friends with them, whatever that is, write it down. I know you don't really want to do this. I get it. But you have to become aware of the stuff, the crap that is inside your mind and that is directly affecting every area of your life still today. Now this exercise will probably take a while, so you don't have to start doing it right now. When I did it the first time, I think I wrote 9 pages and then I burned them. So write it all down and take note of the fact that you're allowing somebody else's opinions and petty thoughts to still affect you to this day, even if those words were spoken 5, 10, 20, or 50 years ago. And remember this, be gentle with yourself. This is not an easy thing to do. Most people will not do this. So I challenge you, do it for yourself. Don't just watch this video and think, oh yeah, I don't need that. Do the exercise. It'll make you feel so much better. Your body is like a computer and the mind is like downloaded software. And so anything that has been downloaded as a software program will ultimately run the show automatically. And it's time to change that. Let's delete some old shit, some old programs, and install something new. Replace the old with the new that you're actually choosing and that you want to have in your life. So let's talk about thoughts for a minute. We think about 60,000 thoughts every single day, and 5 or 99% of those thoughts are exactly the same thoughts as you thought yesterday. And thoughts create emotions. So when you think a thought, that immediately creates emotions that reflect what the thought was like. So as an example, you wake up in the morning, you're feeling a bit frustrated, worried because you need to give a presentation later on, and your boss hasn't really prepped you well, so you're worried that it's not gonna go so well. Immediately when you think those thoughts, you start feeling anxious, worried, frustrated. And you get into this loop where your thoughts create more emotions and the emotions create more thoughts. And that doesn't really get you anywhere. You're gonna stay in that state of mind the entire day. Now, most people think that they can't control their thoughts at all. And that's not true, because it goes back to that moment where you were born and when your mind started to develop and get conditioned by your environment, what people said, what they did, what they told you to do and how to be. So it's all a slow process and an accumulation of small pieces of data that add up and turn your mind into what it is today. And those thoughts, whatever it is that you're thinking, have been installed inside your mind, but you can actually choose your thoughts. So let's do a quick experiment so that I can demonstrate that for you. I want you to think about a red tulip. Easy, right? Okay, second experiment. I want you to think about a yellow rose. Very easy, right? You're a gold student. So, as you can see, you can think about anything you like. You can change your thoughts in a split second if you want to. It just takes awareness. And you have to start by changing your thoughts if you want to change your life. If you keep thinking the same thoughts that are degrading and hurtful and outright mean, then nothing is gonna change. It's as simple as that. My God, when I think back at the things I used to tell myself, I'm horrified, absolutely horrified, because I would never tell anyone what I used to tell myself over and over again, day in, day out. I was so mean to myself. And I know that you know what I'm talking about. So you have to start to tell a different story. Okay, yeah, Stephanie, I buy into that. But how? Great question. It's not easy, but it is possible. Which brings me to the second tool. Write down the thoughts that you would like to think about. Now, this isn't about being delusional or talking yourself into believing things that you don't believe. That's not what we're doing here. Let me be very clear about that. But you have to start somewhere. And one of my favorite authors, Elizabeth Gilbert, writes herself a letter every morning coming from love. Now, I know that that may sound a little strange to you, but hear me out. If you were love, what would you tell yourself every single day? Stuff that's 100% compassionate, 100% kind, 100% loving. What would those things be? This is not about repeating I'm beautiful, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm great, 1,000 times a day. No, this is not what we're doing. You wouldn't believe any of that anyway. And if you did, you wouldn't be here watching this video, because if you thought you were great, fantastic, lovable, the best thing ever since sliced bread, you wouldn't have to work on these things. Instead, we are just gonna approach the matter from a place of love. Let me give you an example. My love, I know that things are really, really hard today. I know that you haven't slept that well. I know that you're feeling anxious and scared and like everything is just standing still, and I know that's really hard for you. But I want to remind you of something today. My biggest wish for you is that you could see what I see. You are such a light in this world. Everyone who gets to know you is honored. You bring joy everywhere you go. You show up for the people in your life in a way that is admirable. And my wish is that you would show up in the same way for yourself. Because you matter. You really, really matter. You're needed on this planet. You have a unique gift that no one else has. And everyone around you loves you so, so much exactly because of that. I want you to know that you are doing everything right. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing, with what you're saying, the way you look, the way you speak, the way you are. You have so much to offer in this world. And at this moment, you might have to scale back a little and give yourself the time and the energy to heal and to just be for a while. Because we all need that sometime. You don't have to be so damn effective and productive all the time. It's okay to just be you. And I love you. Remember that. So that was it. That's an example of what you could tell yourself. I want you to write down every single thing that you would like to think about yourself. If you talk to yourself like your best friend talks to you, what would you tell yourself? Write that down. And when you have that list, I recommend that you record it as a voice memo on your phone so that you can listen to it every single time when those old, unwanted, unkind thoughts start to penetrate your mind again. Because it's gonna happen a lot. It does. Again, that's just what the mind is designed to do, but you need to course correct right now. That's your biggest job. And let's be honest here. This isn't something that's going to change your life in a matter of days or weeks, months, or even a year. This is something that will take a bit of time, and you need to make a commitment to do it all the time. And so I invite you to think about it like this. Given that you've been conditioned to think and feel the way you do right now your entire life, it would also make sense that it takes a bit of time to create something else and choose what you actually think about and how you subsequently feel. And so if it takes you a month, a year, or 2 years, wouldn't it make perfect sense that it would be worth every single second you put into it? And you probably just forgot how lovely it is to love yourself and feel good about yourself, that's where I want you to be. It makes everything easier. Everything. And wouldn't it feel so good to do something actively all the time to change things and make yourself feel better instead of being stuck in a rut where you feel like nothing is changing, that the same shit just keeps repeating itself? And on that note, I have a small favor to ask you. If this content is helpful to you, please hit the subscribe button so that you can keep watching videos like this in the future as well. Thank you very much. And that brings me to the third and last tool that I want to give you right now. It's time to detox. Nope, I don't mean green juice. I mean, feel free to have it if you want, but this is not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about is much more personal than that. I'm going to invite you to stop hanging out with people who don't make you feel good anymore. I also recommend muting or unfollowing people on social media. Mind you, I'm not saying that you should skip all your friends, but I am questioning why you would hang out with somebody who doesn't love you unconditionally or who doesn't accept you for who you are. Also, when it comes to social media, notice just how much time you can spend scrolling through other people's feeds. Stop that. It's not going to help you love yourself, and just focus inwards instead. Build yourself up. Do the things that you loved doing as a kid. Allow yourself to be nerdy, geek out on things, be playful. I mean, write post-it notes if you need to. Do you know just how much shit I take from people because of my post-it notes? Oh, Stephanie, are you still writing your small little notes? Why, yes, I am. Are you still as bitter as you sound? It's time to choose you. Choose who and what makes you feel good about yourself. Period. Life is supposed to be fun. You are allowed to have fun. And you're also allowed to be your biggest champion. Don't expect anyone to take care of that part for yourself. I mean, sure, it's great with supportive people and great moms. Mine happens to be the best. Shout out to her. But really, loving yourself is your own job. No one, and I mean no one, can do that for you. It starts with those 60,000 thoughts that you think every single day. And if the majority of them are shit, then your life is going to be shit. It's as simple as that. Understanding this and doing something about it is fundamentally what changed my life. I rewrote the script of my life. I threw out the garbage that somebody had written on my behalf, and I literally started over thinking about what the best case scenario could be. And day after day, I practiced that. Slowly but surely, things started to change. One thought after another. It's literally what that journey looks like. There's no secret sauce or magic trick that will take care of that for you. You have to change your thoughts to change your life. Now we're almost at the end of this video, and I want to share something personal with you. If you look closely, you can see that I have lines and scars all over my upper body and my arms. You may not be able to see it because I've done a good job with the lighting, but they're there. I have deep lines on my face, and I have scars and wrinkles that probably make me look a lot older than I am because of my past issues with eczema. I also have spots on my face. And a year ago, I would never, ever have done this video. I would not have shown my face on camera. Why? Because media tells us that you have to look a certain way to do that. You have to be perfect. You have to have silky skin, perfect teeth, perfect hair. But that's not what real people look like. That is not a real representation of what we look like as a society. We have stretch marks and love handles and birthmarks and loose skin and dark circles and hair here and hair there and hair everywhere. That's what real women and men look like. Real people with real experiences that have left their marks on billions of bodies across this planet. And yet, We think that something is wrong with us. We think that we can't be loved just the way we are. We fundamentally believe that we have to have flatter stomachs, bigger boobs, skinnier waists to be loved by somebody else, and most importantly, loved by ourselves. We also think that it would be better if we were less needy, more social, less awkward, maybe a bit quieter, whatever the fuck that is. And I'm so done with that. Remember that your body is telling a story. Now, at this moment, you might not love that story, but you can rewrite that script of your life starting today. That doesn't mean that you rewrite your entire life and your past. No, that's what brought you here in the first place. And now you're in this moment where you can create real change starting today by doing something differently and, most importantly, by thinking differently. You can start showing up for yourself with love. And that is who you are. Don't let anyone else tell you differently. It's game time. To get this party started, I want you to tell me what kind of thoughts you are going to let go of today in the comments below, and what kind of loving, inspirational thoughts you're going to think instead. Do this to start cultivating self-love and showing up for yourself in a way that you haven't done before. It's important that you hold yourself accountable, because otherwise this will just be another video that you watched and just felt the same about yourself after it as when you started. It's simple. You have to start somewhere, and this might just be it for you. So make up your mind and start creating lasting change for yourself. And that's it for today. Man, that felt good. I hope you felt it too. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to keep seeing my videos, and take care of yourself and go write those lists right now. I believe in you, and I hope you believe in yourself.